Welcome to Light Over Heat with Professor David Yamani. I'm still on a quasi vacation in California, so please excuse the casual attire. But this week I want to share with you some comments I made on the murder of Ahmaud Arbery for the Liberal Gun Owners Lens podcast.
David Yamani, in his own words.
My view of the Ahmaud Arbery case, as well as other cases that bring together this issue of race and guns, is that you really can't understand guns in America without understanding race and racism, because guns are part of America, and you can't understand America without understanding race and racism. So guns being so much intertwined with American history from before the founding, I think that this is what makes that connection so vital. And, the dark side of it really is, the use of firearms from before the founding to enforce slavery. The use of firearms under westward expansion. I think that it's just been part and parcel of the American experience. And the dark side of the Ahmaud Arbery case is that it really calls to mind racist vigilantism. And, I think that is a true reality of American history that we should never deny. As gun owners, I think there's a kind of reflexive, oftentimes dismissal of that, because they say, well, that was then, this is now. And that is, I think, to some extent true. We don't see the same level of vigilante racist violence as we have in the past, but sometimes it does rear its head, and it is worth pausing and thinking about that history and the extent to which that history persists, at least in some parts of the gun owning community. I'd say also at the same time that, I think in the contemporary world, with the expansion of the right to keep and bear arms for purposes of self-defense, the right to carry arms publicly for purposes of defense, that within that broader movement within gun culture, that racist vigilantism is a very small part of that, right? And people want to see the Ahmaud Arbery cases being an indictment of defensive gun culture as a whole, in the same way that they wanted to see the Kyle Rittenhouse case as an indictment of gun culture, or the popcorn shooter, or whatever these cases are. But the fact that you have millions and millions of people exercising the right to keep and bear arms, and isolated incidents of these kind of negative racist outcomes, I think that suggests that this is not what's central to contemporary American gun culture, even if it is a continuation of a dark side of American history. Again, the question with respect to race and guns becomes, do you pick up that gun to police some people more than others? Who's considered the outsider, who's in need of policing? And if you are in a suburb or a subdivision in Florida or in Georgia, do you need to be doing that policing?
These are very stable and fair observations from David Yamani.